I wanted to make you all aware, I know if you've seen a word in the paper that the Forest Service, the NRCS, have been awarded over $500,000 in Joint Chiefs grant work. And we're waiting to hear about the state and private to the Department of Forestry. They also put in for money, but usually they don't hear about it till late spring, early summer. So we're waiting to hear on that. So just wanted to give you an update on what that money is going to be used for. So it's going to build on this history of collaboration and realize the truly all lands approach to restoration by leveraging partnership resources and implementing cross-jurisdictional activities on the ground. Specifically, funding through Joint Chiefs Landscape Restoration Partnership Program will be used to do the following. It'll implement prescribed burns and fuel reduction treatments on national forest, state, and private lands. It's also going to conduct oak woodland restoration, timber stand improvement, and targeted thinnings on national forest and private lands. It's going to assist the private landowners with developing and implementing forest management plans while focusing technical assistance on better management of habitats that benefit forest bats and early successional birds such as golden-winged warbler, which is a NRCS working lands for wildlife focal species and the subject of significant research by the Virginia Bird Conservation Initiative partners within this landscape. It's going to improve the function and connectivity of streams and protect water quantity by replacing or removing impassable culverts on national forest lands and providing assistance with fish passage structures, fencing livestock out of waterways, and stabilizing stream banks and planting riparian buffers to decrease water temperatures on adjacent private lands. It's also developing an American chestnut progeny site and plant seedlings on national forest lands. And we've actually already got that progeny site, a 1 acre site already up and going. Improved native pollinator habitat on national forest, state, and private lands, and involves students, volunteers, and partners in the collection of native grass and forb seeds and tree plantings. And also control non-native invasive species on priority national forest, state, and private lands while targeting public outreach on forest pests and pathogens through the Don't Move Firewood and other initiatives. So I won't go into all the nitty-gritty, but do you have any questions about the program at all?
Board members, any questions?
Young, and we're part of the forest. These clear cuts, I think will go far beyond the scope of these clear cuts. I mean, if you ride out in Longdale past the recreational area, it's just miles of clear cut, no forest. I don't have a problem with the select cuts. And I understand the canopy and so forth and bringing new growth to the forest, but we cut everything. I mean, we just strip the forest of everything. And there's no habitat for the animals to be there. And I'm a hunter. I pay to hunt on national forest, and I don't think I'm getting the bang for my bucks. Our roads are in terrible shape. You know, why can't you take some of this money and put toward our roads? I know you've got a tremendous amount of roads. Some of the roads are in good shape. Most of them are impassable, especially during hunting season. Side trimming on the roads, that could be easily taken care of. But it's just, we've just let it go too far. And I hear it all the time. People fuss at me, but I don't have anything to do with it, so I'm fussing at you. Don't take it the wrong way, but
well, anytime you want to go out and visit some of these sites, I'd be glad to take you out with biologists.
I realize we're working on a short budget, but I don't know, I just feel like we're being neglected when it comes to doing our part and doing your part. But it's got to be something you could do to enhance the maintenance on these roads.
Yeah, and a lot of our roads maintenance are actually done through our timber sale program. The loggers, we as part of their work in the forest, they actually do road improvement. And if you go to some of these timber sales, you can see where they've done a lot of road work, putting rock down and making improvements. But unfortunately, our roads budgets are going down every year. So and we have to share it across 1.7 million acres. So it doesn't go very far, the road work money we get.
The Forest Service has all this land. If they can't maintain it, do they need that much? I mean, why are we not taking care of the property that we're basically paying taxes on?
You know, that's $1 million question, I think, for that I can't answer. Our budgets are put out by Congress. The amount of money we have, unfortunately, the budget for our firefighting efforts are going up every year. This year, it's over 55% of the money. So as firefighting costs go up, everything else for roads, wildlife, all the other budgets are getting smaller as those costs go up. So they're looking for different ways of funding wildfire fighting, and we'll see what happens. But as long as the cost and the fires get more extreme and larger and more expensive, it's going to make our budget smaller for everything else but fighting wildfires.
But even look at the micro compared to the macro, the footprint shrinking, and you still maintain the amount of land that you've had over the years.
Yeah, the amount of land isn't going down.
Every once in a while, when the discussion comes up, someone throws out the idea that all federal land should be divided, should be given back to the states, for the states to manage. In other words, what national forest in Virginia should be run by Virginia's DOF. And it comes up every 3 or 4 years, but it never seems to get done. I mean, a lot of people make the argument it should be left in federal ownership. Some other people make the argument it could be managed better if it was all turned over to the state. Well, the state of Virginia owns game commission land all over the state too, and they seem to manage theirs a little bit cheaper than what it cost you, but it's just part of being part of the federal government. It always costs you more to do anything than it does states or private landowners.
Longdale Recreation Area, you're closing it. Is there no way?
Not that I know of.
Well, I mean, you've turned the power off and everything there. Why?
Well, our recreation, it's the same thing. Recreation budgets are getting smaller and smaller, and so we're trying to, with a very small workforce and a very small budget, to take care of what we have. We're kind of trying to put our focus on these big, higher use areas. But Longdale's kind of a concern of mine also, and I've had some interested parties that want to talk about the future of Longdale, and we'll be talking about with the Historical Society and some other groups that have some interest. But and if you're interested, we're probably going to have a meeting, I'm thinking early summer.
We spent millions of dollars on underground service to all the cabins and everything. I mean, it was a tremendous expense, not very many years ago.
Yeah, and there's
And now
beautiful
we've
buildings.
cut it off. I don't understand.
The money you were awarded, you mentioned stream stabilization. Could it be used for some very serious erosion problems?
Well, I think the plans are, there's going to be 2 bottomless arches, one up in the Porter's Mill area and then one down in the Longdale area where we've had problems with aquatic passage. So I don't know if you know how expensive culverts are, but putting 2 bottomless arches are going to take up just about all the funding that we got for aquatic passage.
I've mentioned it about every person that's been in charge of James River District for 20 years, and we never can seem to get it done. But if you're ever out riding around sometime, go down what they call Blue Spring Run. Susan's gone, and I can't remember the route numbers, but there's a little piece of land there, and from what I understand, it's on the National Forest. But it's the worst slide I know of in Alleghany County, and it's raw red dirt. Must go back 300 feet right down.
Is it next to a state road or a?
Right beside State Road. You can see it from State Road.
It's called Blue Spring. I'll write that down real quick.
It's Blue Spring Run's name. And we could have a moderate rain, inch and a half. The stream will be clear down to there, but from there to Potts Creek, it turns just red with mud. And it's been an active slide as long as, my whole life. But just on this side of the way the stream runs in against the mountain, it's just slowly eating into the mountain, and it's taking material, it is. But on this side of it, there's all kinds of rubble rock, and I've always thought, if it wasn't for getting in trouble, I'd stop and do it myself. Just take an excavator and pick the rubble rock up, pack it back in against the mountain, put the stream back over where it belongs. It moved in the, it just keeps digging into the mountain, and there's enough rubble rock there to stabilize that thing at the bottom of it, and then maybe it'll eventually put itself back to sleep. But
And what part of the county is that in? What part of the county is that in?
Well, I mean, it's Alleghany County, it's
So Route 18.
Off Route 18.
big,
Okay.
Blue Spring Run.